They look like what they look like what you would imagine ghosts to be. They were ridiculously light-skinned, much lighter than he was. They were dressed in an attire that seemed made from him. Just in front of the shade were merchants of dark ebony skin bargaining for the women and children. He drew closer and realized that the buyer spoke a funny tongue he had never heard before, not even from the most traveled merchant he had ever come across. Lining their eyelids were dark paints that reminded him of what the beautiful maidens wore during their dance performances in their coming of age ceremonies. Many wore gold jewelry that shone brilliantly in the sunlight, contrasting their brown skin. All this while, he observed that no one acknowledged or even noticed him. He appeared more or less invisible to the bustling crowd of people and animals. Jidofo was bemused by this realization. He drew much closer to the canopy with the bound slaves and was startled when one of the slave girls trailed him with her eyes. She stopped her sobbing and beckoned to him. It was beyond words when this girl spoke to him, not in the funny tongue he had heard earlier, but in his own language, in Igbo. Save me, my young prince. Please set me free. Let my people go, she said sternly, while still holding his gaze. You must remember the truth. You must remember who you are. You have to shepherd the flock home, free their minds. For slavery is only of the mind. It is not this rope that binds my people, but the rope around their spirits, around their minds. If my people remember the truth of their past, they'll be able to build a future of freedom on the foundations of this truth. When you remember your past, 1 million, water child, you must let your faith in the truth guide you to your faith. You must remember your past, Jidofo. They screamed his name, and her voice resounded again and again, as if in an echo.
Wow.
End of excerpt.
I love that actually. And I love the fact that, those words keep on coming over and over again. And particularly know it depicts a story, just like I read in your bio, of the
Yeah.
Igbo, southeastern
Yes,
part of
yes,
Nigeria. That's quite
exactly.
amazing. And I love your recitation, not a bad voice at all.
Thank, thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Now, I'd love to move to the next performance person, and that's in the name of Nicole Gillespie. I have to first read her bio before handing over to her to pick it up from there. And please, Faris, if you have your book, could you please show it to the camera just so we can see what it looks like? Yeah, that's beautiful. I love it. Yeah, thank you. So now I'll be reading that of Nicole Gillespie. Nicole Gillespie of Kansas City is a proud author of Transparent Moment and Mirrors Reflection. Gillespie's books landed her the People's Choice Award for Best Author in her city and 5-star rating via Amazon. Gillespie's work is featured on Quite Essential Listening, Poetry Radio Online, and she appeared twice as a guest panelist into English Literature's Global Writers Conference. Also, she has been featured in 3 magazines, the Writing on the World Global Magazines, published author Renee Drummond Brown, Issue 1, Reverend Kate Elkson, publisher Jerry Landon, and All Black Everything magazine founder, publisher Trice Mitchell. Gillespie is known for her pathos writing style, and she inks from the depth of her soul. Gillespie's mission is to shake and move our readers through a body of literary works. Gillespie's primary goal as a poet is to provoke thought, enlightenment, and ultimately change, which hopefully give our readers understanding, strength, and the courage to press on once reading our work. So, Nicole, you're welcome as I hand over to you for your performance.
Thank you, Mr. Peter. The 2 books that he mentioned are Transparent Moments. Sorry, y'all, I'm having a little difficulty keeping my laptop up. Transparent Moments and Mirrors Reflection.
Beautiful.
Both of them are my babies. Well, I'm going to start with the poem Disconnecting Myself. Disconnecting me from what I thought was myself hurts. However, hurts more being me, or what I thought was me. I am who my father and mother are. They are who their father and mother were. The thought of being them scares me. I mirror my mom's codependency. I'm a faucet just like my dad. Either I'm hot or cold, no in betweens. I build walls to protect me. I need to need me. I want love to want me. I hide so others can seek me. Then when found, I hide again. Insecurities rule me. For some strange, bad, or good reason, I'm confused. I feel like this should not be me, yet this is what I'm used to. It feels normal, yet evasive and abrasive. So uncomfortable. Like I'm wearing forced hand-me-downs that's persuasive, beyond wore out. However, they're family heirlooms. So native, I can't replace it, making me feel so evasive. It's starting to be toxic, for real, psychotropic. But now that I'm self-aware, forget them traits of my mom and dad now. I'm tired of thinking, walking, and talking as them. So damn repetitive. Yet still ending up in the exact same place at the exact same time, naming and proclaiming at my grandma's house, praying for change. Forget those generational curses. Forget them generational cycles. Curses. I'm tired of lacking, slacking, fallbacks, just enough to get by. Low self-esteem, broken dreams, and sexual compromise, abuse and misuse, living normal in dysfunction. I'll be that black sheep that break every chain so we can rightfully function. I am who my father and mother are. They are who their father and mother were. The thought of being them scares me. The end.
Wow. That's an amazing one.
I like that. That was really good.
Very good.
Dealing with breaking generational, we call these days cycles, but in my mind, they're generational curses, and just pulling from within. You see your mom, them, you ain't against them cooking, or you cook just like your mom, or you got facial features like your dad. What you are scared of is the traits that keep the cycles going, the behaviors and different things. Love them to death, but I see it from generation to generation. That's what inspired that poem.
Wow, that's quite amazing. I love the sound of it. And Nicole is quite an amazing. I have some of her works here on my shelf. It's quite a lot to put on, you know. So I read quite a lot of her works. She's such an amazing and brilliant poet. Thank you so much for sharing. I love the sound of it.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I'll be moving now to Michael Hislop, who'll be the next to perform, and I'll be reading his bio before handing over to him to go on from it. So Michael Hislop, born in India and widely traveled throughout North America, Europe, Asia, and Australia. Michael is now based in Newcastle, Australia. He's well versed in our world, society, and culture, and a beautiful diversity. He has an abiding love for humanity and our history. University educated too, he holds degrees in politics, international relations, and African decolonization, as well as holding a Doctor of Law. Currently 45 years of age, Michael devotes himself to his love of writing, literature, plays, science, and poetry. His current writing interests include humanity and history, humanism and sovereignty, metaphysics and the soul, religion and divinity, consciousness and reality, plus many other. Is currently the executive editor of Kajya Kishore International, and is also the founder of the Metaphysical School and the author of their manifesto, We Are the Metaphysical. So I'm going to hand over to Michael to go on from there. You're welcome, Michael.
Thank you kindly, Peter. Thank you for the warm welcome. I'm so happy to be here today. It's very early here this morning in Australia. It's about 6 a.m. So it is great to be able to spend time with my fellow poets around the world first thing. But thank you, guys. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to meet you all. I'm both a writer and a poet. My first love is poetry, and I love poetry and write it every day. But this year I've set myself a task of writing a new short story each month. So I thought I'd read you an excerpt from one of my short stories called The Night Rider. And I'm just going to read about 3 or 4 minutes from one of my short stories. This one's pretty close to my heart, so I'll kick it off. It's called The Night Rider. There is no such thing as art, only artists. That's a famous saying by E.H. Gombrich, and that starts off my short story. Have you ever seen a night owl? No, don't worry, not too many people have. But you can hear them roosting in council, inhabitants of the dark of the night, a chorus in rowdy session. Because you so rarely glimpse them, though you can hear them, you are never really sure whether it is friends in conversation or rivals in nasty argument. A hotbed audible, ringing sounds of introspection, echoing guffaws, predators in a pack, perched in the night, commentating in derision and delight. But you never forget those sounds, primal, heart-wrenching, otherworldly, alien, the observer, the judges. Always foremost, I sense laughter, not giggles of happiness and joy, but cackles of teary resignation. Oh, woe, the irony. Life is so often sheer absurdity, the human tragedy. And those creatures who dwell in the night, they are different. They grow differently. They demand differently. Other needs, other wants, other imperatives. Life for them follows a different rhythm, a blessing and a curse, a gift and a choice. To withdraw from the solidity of normality, to forsake rote interaction and routine life, to seek and prefer one's own company, to burrow in isolation into the darkness of the night, the universal womb, our mother, her likeness reflected in the moon. This truth even the seeds of the earth understand. A bloom must first bury into the loam before it becomes. And the daylighters, those who live only in the bright, hiding within their hallowed secret, they fear the night. A solemn fright, living their lives halfway, half of the night, half of the light, never going far enough down any way to be truly aware, scared zombie ghosts. Still, they wonder at the creatures of the night, bestowing infamy, craving iniquity, famous names and tall tales and cinema stories. Fear is just one step to adoration. Hidden yearnings for the dark recesses, craven longings for night's caress, sheer bliss, the utter freedom of obscurity, the blessed release of insanity, the finality of rest. I have one more paragraph, please, Peter. I'm just aware of the time.
Absolutely.
The young and foolish even venture willfully each weekend as tourists of the dark, fortified with spirits, visiting the carnal temples, entertaining wicked delights, and next morning awakening regretfully, I will never sin as such again. Damn my head, what the? And Mark blinks open stubborn eyes, those obstinate parts so oft want to refuse to cooperate. And I'll leave it there. Thank you for letting me read. It's been a pleasure.
I love it. I love it.
Excellent.
That was really amazing. That was really amazing. And I want to make it look as if once anyone finishes any recitation, if you have something to say, you can say it. just so it doesn't have to be only me talking. That's such an amazing stuff. I really love it.
It
And
was really
particularly,
good, really good.
It pulls you in. I love when stuff just pulls you in. The metaphors, all that. I just love it. It just gives you a more deeper insight. And I like the thrill that's in behind of it. I love it. I promise you I do, Michael.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you
it
so
was
much.
good.
Thank
I
you so much.
definitely agree.
Thank you. I have a website, my friends, that tells a little bit more about me and my books. It's just simply michaelhislop.com. So please come and subscribe. I'd love to send you some emails and communicate with each of you and all my fans a little bit more. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
yeah.
Enjoy.
Thank you so much. And I think if there's a live chat, you can drop that so we can check that to give a follow
Okay.
there. And you can drop it on the live chat. That'll be great. So I'll be moving to the next performer, and that's Robin Rice Green. So I'll be reading her bio shortly before I hand over to her to pick it up from there. Robin Rice Green is a married woman that has decided to follow her passion of being an author. Ever since she could remember, she has always been in love with books and reading. Early in her childhood, she developed the love for writing and could think of nothing else but writing. As she got older, life started to get in the way, and she started running after a paycheck and checked out of doing things because she had a passion for them. Between dealing with domestic violence since she was young, being homeless several different times, and having some of the worst job experiences she could imagine in her field of work, she has written 2 books in her trilogy entitled A Mother's Pain and 1 book of another series called The Push. Every day she is working on her craft to be able to tell the lessons she has learned in life and hopefully help other people to use their art to further life that they want. In the next few weeks, our 3rd book of our trilogy will be out. Our website is robinricegreen.com, and she can be reached on Facebook. Our books are currently available for sale on Amazon. So welcome on the show, Robin.
Hi.
Hi, Robin.
Hi, everyone. I actually want to read an excerpt from my book, The Push. The Push is actually about my life, I guess, kind of pushing myself out of the boundaries of jobs. There's no other way to say that. So I'm going to start reading an excerpt from there. Just give me a few moments. So I'll start with Tiffany wanted that. She wanted to be happy every day. She wanted to go only the places that she wanted to go instead of the places she had to go. Tiffany shook her head twice as if Brenda could see her over the phone. Then she took a deep breath and blew out air, making a loud, exhaustive sound. I am here again. I do not want to be here. I'm tired of being here. There's nowhere to go in this company. I just feel stuck. I do not want to be unhappy. I do not want to feel tired all the time. I am tired of not using my gifts that I know I have. I do not want to see what I am currently seeing anymore. How do you stay so happy? Do you have bad days? I cannot understand why I feel so lost. Tiffany paused after every sentence to make sure no one could hear her, and no one was coming. As she looked around, she felt claustrophobic, as if the box that her life seemed to be in was getting smaller. Before Brenda could respond, Tiffany decided to share more. I do not know that I have the energy to go after what I want and stay at this miserable job with miserable people. There seems to be no hope. Like we are all in a box of rejects. I know we are the people that people contact about their sewage being excavated, but that does not mean that we are where we work. I figuratively and literally feel like I'm in quicksand or a box of fecal matter. What should I do? By the time Tiffany was done talking, Brenda was speechless. Brenda understood that Tiffany had been holding everything in for years and just needed to blow off some steam. Treading lightly, afraid to say the wrong thing, Brenda put on some classical music. Tiffany could hear it clearly, as if Brenda was no longer on the phone, but had laid the phone right against the stereo. Tiffany looked at her phone and noticed the meeting would begin in 3 hours, which meant time had not passed by any quicker. Tiffany would still have to find something to do after she got off the phone. Tiffany felt better, but looking around only made her want to leave. Tiffany knew for sure in that moment that every day spent at this job was a day wasted, and she did not have any more days to waste. I just want to read one more thing. I'm sorry. I want you to breathe easy. It is all in your perspective. If you want things to change, then you must change your perspective. I understand you are tired, but so many before you thought they were tired too. But they were able to keep pushing through. You can beat out all the adversity. Everyone has bad days, but when you are doing what you want in life, it is hard to let your bad days win. You keep saying that you do not want to do this anymore. I agree. But that means you must find something that you would rather do. Or maybe you should find something, another job, no matter what it is, Brenda said while turning off the music. That's it.
Thank you. I loved it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I can relate.
I think we all can.
Yeah, as creatives, we all can, can't we? It kind of, for me, perfectly encapsulates the tension as a creative between wanting to spend time and energy on your craft and what you have to do every day just to survive, you know?
Yeah.
And it is a tough battle. So I understand, Robin. Thank you for sharing.
No problem. Thank you.
That's such an amazing poem. I love it. Now, after moving to the next speaker, and that's W Farnsworth, I'll be reading his bio shortly before inviting him on to go ahead. W Farnsworth is widely published online and in print. He writes answering submission calls for a wide variety of literary genres, as well as mixed genre and poetry. Among a series of volumes is John Fehm's P.I. Mysteries in 10 volumes, is Wiglaf the Sharma Tales, is Al Katana Action Adventure Stories, is Ninth Century Southwestern Tale, is Dark Fire Science Fiction Tale, and is Picklock Lane Story. His most recent collection is Rat Saga Tales in 2 volumes, and its prize-winning horror tales in The Black Mabel Griffon and Other Disturbing Tales, and Foxborn and Other Tales and Poems of Horror. Foremost among the author's historical narrative is it Barrow Quizmore or Gatsby Holocaust, the only novel about the sad subject available in English. Setting him apart from his fellow author are his tale of Lovecraftian cosmic horror series called Esoteric Tales, and his invention of 2 poetic forms, his Arrowtian variant of Shakespeare's sonnet form, and a silver print haiku form, including 6 haiku with interlacing themes. Farnsworth has been supported by outstanding supportive editor and publishers on both sides of the Atlantic Ocean, e.g. like Gavin Sharper of Rock Planet, D.L. Rowat of Horrified Press, and Lindsay Fairgrave of AudioAcadia.com, all in Great Britain, and Lee Dean of Celestia Inc. Publishing, Evelyn Zima of Symbol House Publishing, and Tommy Hancock of Prosa Publication in the United States of America. And now I'll be handing over to W Farnsworth for his performance. You're welcome, Wilson.
Thank you, Peter. I'm going to be reading from a piece that just appeared in Lovecraftiana called The Little Crypt. On empty dusks, I walked along the wrought iron fence between the walk and the cemetery that bisected 11th Street. I was impressed by the broken statues, the fallen headstones, broken bottles and paper trash, the unkept weeds and wildflowers. The place was a mute, decaying memorial to desecration. I could only make out a few German names. Funds for caretaking must have run out long ago, and no one now would dare to raise a group of volunteer cleaners. I asked around, but locals shook their heads and turned away. No one, I asked, claimed to be related to anyone interred in the once sacred grounds. Meanwhile, midnight vandals continued to break stones with sledgehammers and unearth coffins that lay about afterward, filling with rainwater. Who knows what treasures the grave robbers had carted off, or what pleasure they had derived from their pelf. Final dressings, gentlemen's suits, and ladies' dresses were flung over boxwoods around a family crypt. A skull had been randomly discarded. On the property at the center was a low crypt with iron bands across its rusty metal doors. I guessed the dwelling might contain a dozen corpses, whose ranks would not be swelled by any others. As I passed around the expanse, I could see the crypt from all angles. A low stone wall formed a rectangular perimeter outside the crypt's walls, with sufficient room for relatives of the interred to picnic there on special occasions. That was a macabre but much observed custom, as I was told, though I never observed an example. In front of the doorway, I could make out 2 stone benches for the guests and a square stone table for the victuals. My imagination filled the scene with figures, except for the souls of the departed. In a sense, the vandals, who had left one of Marlowe's pizza boxes and half-filled beer cups on the table, were blindly following in the tradition of fellowship and communion held in that little garden courtyard in former times. Activity in that cemetery was not always desultory. One night I saw a pair of runaway dogs racing through the park. They circled the crypt twice before they jumped the back fence and disappeared in the poor lighting. On another afternoon, I heard the voices of 2 policemen searching for a fugitive they had seen running in that direction. Search was unenthusiastic, and I made a note to myself about where I could safely hide in this city if I had the need to do so. The strangest sight I beheld in that graveyard were huge tentacles waving in the air on all sides of the little crypt, as if they were warding off evil spirits. I might not have seen them if the moon had not cast a silvery light through the creek-breaking mist. The vision stopped me in my tracks, yet the more I tried to examine what was happening, the less convinced I was the tentacles were anything other than a figment of my wild imaginations. Of course, I walked around the cemetery in all weathers. I saw the rough, drab brown vegetation of the winter. I watched as the green took over and crowded the place with summer flowers. I loved autumn's turning of the colors. And as I kept my balance, I saw the same eternal angles and shows through bouts with snow, ice, and sleet. I recall seeing the little crypt wrapped in ice, as transparent as cellophane.
Loved it.
That's deep.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was very deep, very deep.
I invite you to enjoy my full work and Lovecraftiana. Again, my hat is off to Gavin Chappell and Nathan JDL Roark, both marvelous illustrators who have supported my writing for many years now.
That's amazing. Please show it to the camera like this so we can see very well. This is Faith. You can show it to the camera so we can see what your book looks like, the cover. Yeah, Farnsworth, could you show it to the camera just so we can see it? That's your book, yeah. And again,
And
I don't know if you...
in quite a different vein.
Wow.
This is my Viking stories.
Okay.
Even my wife likes them.
I love Viking.
He's quite a critic. The Viking stories stem from an old teacher of mine who praised me for doing some writing about what it must have been like to last a winter in the heart of England in about the 5th or 6th century. And so effectively out of that, I began to think about what various peoples in the north of Europe must have dealt with. And so that is the origin of this Hrethel saga. It's not an actual hero, except I later found out that there is a Hrethel who was Viking and a hero, but this isn't that one.
Wow. That's amazing. That's really amazing. And I love your poetry. They're very deep, and I love the way you keep reciting it gradually with your tonality. It's quite impressive to the hair. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you.
I love the storytelling in behind of it. Like, it draws you in. I like when you said the moon with the tentacles, and it pull you in more. It's kind of scary, but you want to hear more, you know what I'm saying? The skull, the crib, and the ice. I'm listening. I take it all in. I enjoyed it so much.
That's great.
Wilson, I'm a little bit of a fan of H.P. Lovecraft myself, and I'm very much looking forward to checking out some of your work on Lovecraftian. So thank you very much for sharing some of that. I saw the reference to Cthulhu there, and I'm very, very interested to pursue it. Thank you very much.
You're quite welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much, Farnsworth. So I'll be moving to the next performers, and that's Britney Virginia. So I'll be reading about shortly before handing over to her for performance. Britney Virginia is an international poet, writer, self-published author, director, producer of film and theater, and an international creative workshop facilitator. Born with cerebral palsy, Britney uses a passion for the art and her own lived experience to instill confidence in others who have similar experiences as herself. Her work centered around disability, culture, and faith. She has worked with the likes of Greg's Theatre Company, Cryptic Art, Crown Boys, Mentry, Jamaica Christian School for the Deaf School, Bush Theatre, Queen's Theatre, Ons Church, Rice Collective, St. Lucia Youth Development and Sport, Greenwich Docklands International Festival, Theatre Peckham, and Amedia Theatre, to name a few. She's currently producing a short film, Dancing Shoes, a semi-biographical tale about a young disabled woman with a slight foot difference who must motor up the courage to wear the shoes she's always wanted to wear while finding love with a deaf DJ in the process. With a small seed commission and mentorship program by Revolution Art, she's also writing a full-length play exploring dance culture in the Caribbean movement, disability, and faith, with a central character being the first disabled Canevia Queen contestant. This is titled Up in the Mango Trees. This play was supported by Art Council, DYCP, which included workshops on connecting with the disabled community in St. Lucia. And finally, she is writing a second volume of an anthology of poems she hopes to change the world, one story at a time. And now I'm gonna welcome Britney Virginia to go on with the performance. Welcome, Britney.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm so sorry if my Wi-Fi sticks, but you just like let me know, okay? So I forgot to mention my poetry book in that. I don't know if you can see. One second.
Yeah.
So it's titled "So I'll Stay Sitting with You." That's the title. And it's about my journey with dealing with anxiety, low self-esteem, and how faith in God is my anchor for it all. But this poem I'm going to share, I've been writing it for a while and I just kind of want to hear it out loud. So first time I'm sharing it. So please let me know what you guys think. So it's titled Let We Go Via Tea Wine, Lime, sorry. So I'm just like encouraging the person I'm speaking to come along with me and journey with me. Cool. Tall, dark beauty, skin soft with shea butter and herbs, hips stretch wide, ready to carry child, bright bubbly eyes that sucks in any passerby, laughter that fills the room, a presence so soft and delicate, so tender and true, hidden behind a stained glass wall of attitude, confusion of what path to take, disguised as Mwepamele, hair, an ever-revolving door, a desire to control what you can't. I wonder if it goes deeper than just hair. It's true. You're so fun. That's why many lovers knock on your doors like a tourist attraction, but never knowing how to truly love you, and you never truly knowing how to be loved. But only if only you knew of his great love for you, that you were not created to just live without aim or live for a fleeting thrill in a soca beat, but trust me, I get it. I love a wine now and again, but he has great plans for you, for us. Let we go via tea lime, down where the sea stops short and streets paved with gold, deep into the crevices of his love and truth, dancing to an everlasting song, one that will wake you from your slumber, sweet black dove. I want you to know yourself in him because it's the truest form there is. I want to go on a line with you because I love you so deeply and I want you to be more than you ever thought you could be yourself. I want to dream big dreams with you and fall in love with the visions, ideas, and goals we create. I'd like to mirror your dripping moon and use that to morph into the perfect sister you desire, or at least a small shining star, small light in the space we create. I want to walk down by Plant's Place as we reminisce on the good old days. I want to know that we have our own little place where people can lime, travelers can unwind, and new memories can peek forth above the petals as we lift prayers to our God. Will you come with me?
Love it.
Wow. Will you come with me? I love the last question.
That was really good. That was really,
you.
really good.
Thank you.
I love the sound of it. I love the sound of it. I love the solemnity as well. You know, Britney has performed some of our poetry on English Literature's interviews, so I've had quite a lot of that over and over again. So it was nice again. Love it.
Yeah. Thank you for
I love
having me, guys.
Truly loved it.
It was a really beautiful expression of faith, love, and hope. So perfectly said. Thank you so much for sharing with me first thing in the morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
It's fun. It's funny how we are in different
Yes,
time
good
zones.
afternoon.
Yeah.
Different time.
My own is evening, so I'll say good evening, everyone, because it's currently 8:48 p.m. here in Nigeria.
Woo!
So we have people
You know what I've
joining.
taken?
We have
You know
people
what I've
joining
taken
in
to
the
doing
morning.
dinner?
Yeah, you said?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Please excuse me.
Yeah, so we have people joining in the morning like that of Michael. And I think Robin is in the afternoon, right? So is
Yeah,
Nicole.
2 o'clock. It's 2:48.
1:50 p.m. down here in Missouri.
Wow. Wow. Wilson, what time is it in your place?
It is about 2:30 in Cleveland.
Oh.
And it's
love
a really bright, sunny day.
The mystery
Yeah,
of time
mine
difference can be very hilarious, you know.
It is very funny.
It just lets you know.
I think Michael is the only one in the morning. And
Yes.
Michael is in Monday already, and we currently Sunday here, right? Everyone else is in
Yes, sir.
Sunday. Michael is one, like, is in the future.
Oh, you're on
Well,
Monday.
New Zealand and Australia kind of are the first kind of big countries to get the new day.
Interesting. Okay, the more you know.
Honestly. Wow.
I love it.
And
Yeah.
what I've taken to doing, instead of, because I talk to so many people from around the world, instead of saying good morning or good afternoon, I've started to say greetings and blessings instead, because it's much easier than trying to convert
That's
the
good.
time.
There you go.
That's
There you
good.
go. There you go.
Wow, that's kind of
That let
amazing.
you know. It lets you know the voice of the soul is everywhere. It excites me because it's around the world. Creativity and poetry, short poems, and all that. Like I got a family. Sometimes poets and people that write kind of feel like, I'm speaking for myself, kind of feel like an eyeball sometimes, because we like to indulge in our emotions and we're very expressive. And sometimes people can be uncomfortable with that. But
That is so true.
But when I meet kindred spirits such as y'all, it just blows my mind, and I love it, because it's like, you ain't by yourself, Nicole. You ain't the only awkward one. Not that I'm calling y'all awkward, but I'm just explaining how I feel. And I love it. It gives you confidence. It gives you more motivation, because you got other creative persons and intellectuals. I don't call myself intellectual, but Mr. EW and Michael, y'all some intellectuals. Believe me, I'm kind of drawn to that. And the other poet, both of your poets, in the short the short stories, I love it. And the other poet that just went off, I love it. I understand it clearly when you express about the hips and being used for more, just for one single thing, when you're deeper than just that. I really love it. So I'm enjoying this. I really am.
Yeah, me too.
I am too. I definitely agree. I've gotten so much out of these type of meetings. Y'all have no idea. It actually makes you want to write more.
Yeah.
It wants you to be more expressive. It just makes you feel, I guess, part of a group, to be honest.
Yeah.
You
It makes
belong.
you feel like you belong. That's definitely the word.
As writers and creatives, you often spend so many hours in front of your book alone or your computer, and you feel very isolated often, and that it's only you. But we're actually a part of an international community of creatives.
Absolutely.
And new
Yes.
technologies like the internet allow us to communicate much greater than we have before. And I just wanted to comment as well, if I might, for me, creativity and art are the expression of the soul.
Yes.
We've got a number of other ways to express the other parts of being human, but art and creativity are how we express the soul. And there was another quote that I read recently, that it's in our creations that we actually come to discover a little bit about the nature of the creator.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
100%. I agree.
It's very true. In
That's
every book that I write, there is definitely a part of me in it.
It draws
and probably a
closer
part
to
of everybody.
Yes.
Yes.
That was so amazing. I'm very excited everyone is having fun.
I was nervous at first. I was nervous. Can you see me being nervous, Peter? But I was nervous at first.
What nervousness. Oh my goodness.
Well, thank you for the opportunity, Peter. I think this is
Yes.
to your energy, and you have essentially touched a great many people. I've watched you grow last months, and I've been.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, indeed.
That makes me blush.
He's always blushed. I call him my mentor. Yes.
Oh.
I met him on a writing group on Facebook, and I looked at PE English, and I was learning a lot from that. And that's how I got to know Mr. Peter. He's so young, but he's so deep. And he is. I'll be like, Lord, what you got planned for him? But yeah, the way that he loves literature and a way that he helps other people is a passion. You got to be passionate, because let's be honest, sometimes it's not a lot of money unless you hit the jackpot of being the author of all time. So you have to have a passion to write, creativity, and it have to be a passion. It can't be a drive where you're trying to become a millionaire. Hopefully we all can become millionaires out of writing.
Yes, indeed.
Not,
yes, indeed.
Yes, or bestsellers, but it's the passion behind. And I love
it.
Mr.
Is 100% the passion that will get you further. I will tell you, I have wanted to write all of my life, and I dabbled. I mean, you always dabble as a writer, but I never really published anything until this year. And it was such a blessing to me. I just felt like, oh my God, I really can actually put this out, and it just drove me to do more. And every day I'm always challenging myself on something different. It's crazy how many books I have started writing. Set up on my laptop, and eventually they will all be finished and published. But as a creative, your mind starts going so many different places, and you just want to write it all down, before you miss it.
It's like a blessing and curse at the same time.
It is, isn't it?
It would drive you. It will make you happy once it's accomplished, but then, I'm self-taught. I'm a self-taught poet, even publishing books. I got a lot of help. So it'll drive you, but it pushes you to do better. It pushes you to learn, to pay attention, to just what they say, hone your skill to get better and better. And I love it.
Yes, indeed.
That's very true. That's very amazing. I'm quite excited, everyone performed tonight, and we're able to host our first ever open mic event on P English Literature. This is going to be a weekly thing going further. Yeah, we're looking forward to having more people on the show. And currently this video is going live on Facebook, and afterward it will be published on the YouTube channel, where the audience on YouTube can watch separately from those people who are currently watching live on Facebook. So I'm quite excited, and I want to say thank you to all the poets and writers who have joined tonight. W Farnsworth, thank you. Micah Hislop, thank you. Ruben Rice Green, thank you. Nicole Gillespie, thank you. Britney Virginia, thank you. And a visitor, Alicia, thank you as well for joining. Yeah.
That's my mom, Peter.
Oh.
My mom and dad.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Is that who was in that other photo that's gone?
No, they're still there. It's just black screen, Alicia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No. I thought there was a guy sitting in one of the photos.
Yeah, there was a guy. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's why I was saying.
You say that?
I'm very observant.
I see.
Hi, Mom, Dad. Hi, Mom.
Hi.
That's amazing.
Hello. Hi, Mom.
Hello.
Blessings from around the world. I love it.
Blessings.
Yeah. So thank you.
Peter,
Peter,
can I just thank everybody here, and can I ask all my fellow authors to reach out to me on social media and connect with me?
Absolutely.
Because I'd love to say, I'd really love to stay in touch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, me too.
Don't worry.
Me too.
I'm gonna
I
have
would
to
as
link
well.
everyone's social media link afterward. I'll put it in the
Please
English
do.
Literature page so we can follow one another. That'll be fun.
Yes, and I will definitely follow everyone here.
Yeah.
This was awesome.
Yeah.
It will.
Thank you so much. So this will come to the end of the open mic event. Like I said earlier on, thank you everyone for joining, and I look forward to sharing this on the on the YouTube channel page so other people can also watch. Yeah, thank you very much. This was really fun.
Thank
Thank you,
Bye.
guys. Peace and blessings to everybody. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
I
Peace
enjoyed
and
every last one.
blessings.
I'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.